Hello everybody, this is Gretchen Hidell, full-time astrologer, life coach, Reiki master, and psychic medium. Welcome to Monday Night Live. So whether you're watching this live with me on Monday night on Facebook or on the pre-recorded version or on my YouTube channel, welcome. I appreciate you guys coming. And this is the week in astrology. It's Monday on October 12th, and I'm going to go over the astrological energies of this week coming, and we have a lot to cover, so I'm going to just jump right in. So hello everybody that's joining me live. Please go ahead and post below your astrological sign. Say hi. Where are you from? The area that you're tuning in from live. I love seeing that. I am broadcasting live from Vermont, so welcome everybody who's joining me. And so we have a lot to go over. God, this is like, you know, I keep saying that this is history in the making, and I am not kidding you. We have a lot. It's just a lot of astrological stuff, and it's complex. And so I've been saying that this whole fall period of time in autumn of 2020 was going to be, in a lot of ways, astrologically even harder than the beginning of the year, which the beginning of the year seemed to be really hard. So it's like, you know, we're kind of in the thick of it. And I'll tell you, it's complex. And the reason for that is Mars is retrograde, first of all. And Mars is going to be forming squares with the big three planets that are currently in Capricorn. So Mars is going to be forming three squares with three planets 3 times, okay? So that's basically, Mars was going direct, okay? Then it went retrograde, it's hitting those 3 planets, and then it goes direct again. So each time when it went direct, retrograde, and direct, it hits these 3 planets, and that's why we're feeling all of this stuff. And on top of that, now the sun is going to be forming 3 squares with the 3 planets. Now the sun never goes retrograde because we're all rotating around the sun, so that can't go retrograde. But all the other planets, except for the sun and the moon, do go retrograde. And so we're about to be also hitting Mercury retrograde. So we have a lot to cover. So I'm gonna just get started and take one quick second. Rita said, "Let's do this." I love that. Heather. Hello, Libra, Scorpio rising in Vermont. Yay. Jacqueline, Aquarius. Hoping for good energy. Honey, if you're hoping for good energy, you might want to tune in 2021. Naomi, hello. Okay. Darlene, Taurus. Let's see who else is on here. Gretchen, yay! Tuning in from New Hampshire. Corbin, still a Scorpio, he always says. Jane Moon Wolf, Taurus with a Capricorn baby who's still up. Oh, geez, I'm sorry to hear that, girl. She has the cutest little cutie. Chris, hey, how you doing? Juliet, hey, welcome. Kelly, hello. Leo from Vermont. Kirsten, hey, and Julie Bill from Los Angeles, California. I love that. Jacqueline said if 2020, she wouldn't be surprised if the sun went retrograde in 2020. That's so funny. Okay, and Cheryl, Libra from Vermont. Holly, Gemini. I love all these. Wow, we have almost 30 people already, and this is great. So anyway, so getting back to what's happening. Okay. So where do I start first? Do you want to do good news first, and then I'll get into the yicky stuff? Okay, good news was today. Yay. Okay, so Jupiter formed a sextile with Neptune today, and this is a kind of an astrological transit that has been largely overlooked from conversation just because it's been so much of these other kind of crazy transits, and this is causing, you know, COVID, and this is causing financial market crashes and all this stuff, right? And political upheaval. I've been talking a lot about all this stuff, but I haven't talked about this one thing very much because it's just been overshadowed, to be honest with you. And it's like a more sort of gentler kind of energy. So it's just been like steamrolled kind of a bit. But I wrote about it today on my Astrology Updates by Gretchen Hidell page, if you want to go check it out. And, I think it's kind of sad, but sometimes when I write positive posts, it doesn't get as much publicity or press as the negative posts do. And that's kind of a bummer to me. But today was the one kind of like sort of lighter day. And I would also say probably Wednesday might be a little bit lighter, maybe. But out of this week, that's the deal. So what's happening is Jupiter formed a sextile with Neptune, and that came to a height 3 times in 2020. So the first time was 2/20, okay? And that was in obviously February. The second time was 7/27, and the third time was today. Now, what were you doing around those times? And when I talk about the height, it was active all year, and then it would peak, and then it would go down, and it would peak, but it wouldn't go down like as if we're not feeling it all, because these are 2 large planets. In fact, Jupiter is the most expansive planet, and so is Neptune. They're the 2 most expansive planets in the zodiac. And so basically when they form a positive sextile, Jupiter is in Capricorn and Neptune is in Pisces. It's like, let's expand, and it has a lot to do with our spiritual lives. So I want to start this broadcast on the positive foot, because I'm going to pose a question. It's a rhetorical question to all of you, and maybe you guys can answer and maybe not. But basically what this is what has 2020 taught you spiritually? What are your spiritual gifts and blessings that you received this year? It might be hard to find them. I'll just be honest. I mean, some people are having some really hard times in this time, and it might be hard to find the positive, but that's basically, what are we learning? What are we doing? Because this is actually disguised as a gigantic growth opportunity, even though, oh my God, it's a lot. Jupiter sextile Neptune is all about like, what are your hopes? What are your dreams? What are your aspirations? And then I feel like all of this heavy duty energy that's in Capricorn is like squashing that like a bug. It's like, oh, you hoped and dreamed for that? Boom, done. But that's not actually the purpose of this transit. The purpose of this transit is for us to expand and grow outside of the box, outside of how maybe it's going to change completely how we do things, okay? And that's for sure. I mean, the how we do things in Capricorn, all the structures, all the systems, all the rigid rules, regulations, all that's all kind of going out the window a little bit. And now we have this Jupiter sextile Neptune, and that was what we were supposed to be doing. So okay, if all that stuff's out the window, now what? And sometimes things end for new things to begin. So we have to kind of keep that in mind. And bubbling beneath the surface, I will just tell you that a lot of my clients, a lot of my friends, people that I talk to all the time that tune into this broadcast, you guys are so awesome. You guys send me messages, and it's a lot to keep up with, I'll say, but you guys send me a lot of messages and your hopes and your dreams and your aspirations. And there's still a lot of hopes and dreams and aspirations. I guess that's the good news. I mean, Jupiter makes everything big. No matter what Jupiter touches upon, it makes everything big. And Neptune is sort of like this, like dreams, illusions, delusions it can be, but it's also miracles. It's also serendipity. It's kind of like, what are your hopes? And all that stuff. And so when we have those two coming together, and they did come together 3 times, and this is the last time, was today. It came to a height at 3:06 a.m. Eastern time, but it kind of doesn't matter because it's been, like I said, active pretty much all throughout 2020. There's a little bubbling beneath the surface. I was talking to a really good friend of mine who's a musician the other day, and I said, because live music obviously is pretty dead right now. I mean, poor musicians right now are like, it's like nobody can perform live. But I said, wow, I can't wait to see what kind of studio work is going to come out of all this, because musicians, nobody just put down their guitar or their drum kit or their mic and just walked away. Everybody's bubbling and working on things and going internally and creating. And I think that's what this Jupiter Neptune is about. Okay, so that's the good news. And we also have Mercury that formed a positive sextile with Venus today. And speaking of artistic stuff, there's definitely poetry, words, communication. Whenever we add creative Venus, to Mercury, and they're kind of kissing in the sky, they're forming a sextile, which is positive. We can really have some very beautiful things kind of come from that. In fact, it's a nice time to whisper sweet words into your lover's ear and everything. And that's also active today. So we have some nice things today. Except it's like wrapped in this sandwich of ick. I'll just be honest with you, because the rest of this week is really gonna be kind of crazy. So, all right, I'm trying to even think about what to talk about next. So, basically, what's happening is the sun is going to be forming, just like I started the broadcast and I said, Mars is retrograde and basically went direct, hit the 3 planets. I keep saying 3, but there's actually 4 in Capricorn. Okay, Pallas Athena, okay, Pluto, Saturn, Jupiter, all the, not in that order, but they're basically Mars hit them, then Mars went retrograde, hit them again, and then when Mars goes back direct again, we'll hit them again. And that's why Mars is the god of war, and that's why this has been so tough and rough. Now we're throwing the sun into this. So the sun, just so that you guys know, when someone says, hey, what's your sign? When's your birthday? That's the sun, okay? The sun is your sun sign, okay? So if whatever your birthday is, and you're a Taurus, an Aries, Libra, whatever, that's your sun sign, okay? So the sun is like the giver of life. If the sun dies, we all die. It's the ego. It's like the whole general big deal, okay? The sun is obviously the largest planet in the entire, in our whole solar system here. So you get something even bigger than Jupiter. Jupiter's the next biggest. Okay, so now we have that hitting these 4 planets, and it doesn't go retrograde, it only goes direct, but it's still hitting these 4 planets in the form of a square. And it's squaring. Think of squaring off. You're fighting with somebody, you're squaring off. That's basically what the sun and Mars is doing at the same time. That's mind-blowing. So yesterday on Sunday, the sun formed a square with Jupiter. I'm going to give you the itinerary of what's happening. And the sun is in Libra, which is opposing Mars now tomorrow, the god of war. They're actually gonna face off. They're actually literally opposing each other. And that's gonna be tomorrow on Tuesday the 13th. On Thursday the 15th, the sun is gonna form a square with Pluto, and the god, the lord of the underworld, okay, the deep dark stuff. And then on Sunday the 18th, it's gonna form a square with Saturn. Oh my God. So just one of those things. Okay, the sun square Pluto is like bombing and terrorism and nuclear stuff and kind of like a lot of crazy stuff, war and it's a lot. If this wasn't COVID, in a weird way, I guess is good. I don't know, but I would be saying there might be a school shooting, or there might be a randomized event the Las Vegas shootings and stuff. This is a time, but thankfully people are not congregating right now, so that's good. But just that one thing is enough to kind of mess up everything, and now we have all these things. So I can't even pretend it's not fun, and this is why I've been talking about not taking chances. COVID is going to be increasing and building as we go through the fall into the winter. I've been saying this since last year, since last January when I started doing these broadcasts. I've been saying that, and there's just numerous conflicts and things. So North Korea just announced the largest ballistic missile ever that you can possibly like create was just revealed at some kind of military parade over the weekend, and a lot of astrologers are like, oh yeah, here we go, Pluto, because Pluto is nuclear and ballistics and oh god, it's just ugly. I'll just be honest, it's ugly. So it's a lot, and so when we're in our daily life, okay, we can't do anything about that politics stuff. Oh, and then we're going to be swearing in the judge. I can't remember her name off the top of my head. You guys probably know. You know, and the Republicans and the Democrats are fighting in our country. Oh, and by the way, we're about to Amy Connie Barrett, I guess her name is. They're going to do the confirmation of her. They just announced it. I mean, it's just a lot of contention. So we can't do anything about these politics. We can't do anything about this. I always say, how can you affect your little small corner of the world? How can you make your life better? Because the thing about this is that people are going to be contentious right now. People are going to be looking for a fight. People are going to be power. Think about power. Pluto is power struggles. So it's deep psychological processes. So people will know how to kind of get you and, you know, get you riled up and kind of do the thing. Pluto's obsession, possession, jealousy, rage. I mean, it's all the deep dark. Remember, Pluto is literally Hades, the god of the lord of the underworld. Okay, so it's all that deep dark stuff. It's addiction and sexual deviancy, and I mean, Pluto can be really raw and raunchy. And when you think of Pluto basically is the Great Transformer is the nickname of Pluto. It is associated in the tarot deck with the Judgment card. So, you know, Judgment Day, you know, it's like that kind of harsh energy. And it's like, how do you kind of transmute or transmit? Well, one thing about Pluto is being the Great Transformer is that it is associated with the Phoenix rising. And again, the height of this comes at 6:15 a.m. Eastern time on Thursday the 15th. But we're already feeling it now, right? I mean, we're feeling all this stuff now. Yesterday, the sun formed a square with Jupiter. And like I said, then it's going to actually be forming a square with Saturn. So even coming over the weekend. So it's almost like something, you know, dark is coming, right? And so that's this type of energy. So how do you clear, transmit, and transmute this energy? First of all, protection, protection, protection. I want everybody using their dark stones and their dark crystals, okay? All these types of things that you can use. You guys know that I always have like my darker, except for my quartz crystal here, which is Kuan Yin, by the way, symbol. But I use my dark quartz type of crystals. Those things are good for protection. Not arguing and fighting. Like, you know, if someone comes at you, somebody is being a jerk, somebody is, you know, trying to get your goat and well, you can't fight with yourself, can ya? Bye. You know, I mean, that's the thing is stepping away, okay? People who are addicts, people who have mental illness, people who have suicidal ideology, people who have addiction, people who have troubles right now. I always call this type of energy the three-legged table type of energy. They are just going to go down. And we want to love people. We want to tell them that they're going to be okay. We want to give a little extra support if we can. We're not here to save people, but if we can, you know, help them and give them positivity, because this is darkness. I mean, this is really darkness. And so the only sort of thing that I can say is that all of this stuff is grinding, because it is making way for something better coming. Our world is going to be completely different after this transformation that is happening during 2020. And the United States has a bigger transformation going on until 2022. there's a lot, because Pluto is actually, the United States is in the Pluto return. So you guys hear me talk all the time about Saturn return. And do you know what the most famous return is? Is your birthday. It's the solar return. It's when the sun kind of like hits that spot when you were born. Boop, that's your birthday. Saturn return, happens. That's another famous return, and people know that, oh, Saturn return is kind of a hard time. Well, what's a Pluto return like? Whoa, Pluto only returns, luckily, every 250 years. So that's a good thing. 248 is to be exact. So we're never, some people are, alive long enough to live through a return, but the United States actually is going through its Pluto return, and the height of it, check out the date of the height of it. The peak date of the height is 2/22/2022. So that's going to be the peak and the height of the United States Pluto return. So not only is the world kind of going through this craziness and the transformation, all that, but the United States in particular is going through a big change and a transformation. And we're, I always say, like, why did we choose to incarnate now? Well, we must be a bunch of spiritual badasses. That's what I have to say. So basically, if you're a light worker, if you're an empath, if you're an HSP, highly sensitive person, if you are one of the cardinal signs, so Aries, Libra, Cancer, Capricorn, you are in the height, especially if you're a Capricorn, you are in the peak of this, or an Aries, you are in the peak of this. We're right in the, it's almost like ground zero, right? We're in the dead center of it, especially if you're a Capricorn. That's the hardest place to be but right now. So if you have a Capricorn friend in your life, you want to give them a little extra love right now, because the Capricorns are feeling this the hardest. Like, this is the big time here. And especially if they're born at the end of Capricorn. So if you're like sort of like, the 15th or the 20th of January, you're right in the heart. You are like dead center, like the deadest of centers. So you're feeling it right now. So it's, oh my gosh. So Catherine said, Aries rising, Libra sun, Cancer moon. Yeah, you're right in the middle of that, Catherine. I am too. I'm an Aries. I have Mars in Capricorn. So I'm feeling this is like, I'm right in the middle of it. Gretchen, who's watching the broadcast, I'm not referring to myself in third party. She said struggling Capricorn over here. Kirsten said she's Capricorn too. Yeah, so if you are a Capricorn, you're feeling this. And so the cardinal signs are all feeling it. And the cardinals are the leaders. They're the leaders of the Zodiac. Well, look what's happening with the leaders of the world, of our planet, of the United States, of every, there's a lot of stuff happening. So basically, my mom's Capricorn moon. Yeah, girlfriend, you're feeling it too, Struggling Leo, okay? We have, everybody's feeling it. Trust me. It's just the degree, when you're in the middle of it, it's like, it's harder and harder. Iris, who is an Aries, said definitely the roughest year of your life. Yeah. Aries at Capricorns are feeling it, like I said, the hardest. And then for sure Libra, because the sun forming the square, I keep talking about the sun forming the square and the sun forming the opposition to Mars tomorrow, which we'll talk about in a second, is Libra. So, Libra's trying to be a peacemaker and getting a lot of pushback, a lot of feedback, a lot of like resistance, Capricorn's the rule maker of the Zodiac. Aries just wants to kick some ass. And then Libra wants everything to be fine and good. Let's go to mediation, people. And nobody's playing on the same page. You see, they all want to be in charge, and everybody's kind of, I wish we would let Libra win, just being honest. And Cancer just wants to hermit. Cancer's like home and family, I'm in my feelings. Now, I wish our leaders would get a little bit more feeling, because so if you think about the missing link in the three signs that I keep talking about, the cardinal signs, is Cancer. Cancer is home and family and our feelings. And so it does affect, all of this affects our feelings for sure, but it's the missing link. So What if we considered each other as human beings with feelings and emotions, and we can't be jerks and we have to be nice? What if these leaders that are in charge are starting to, what if they thought about that and thought about what is going on and how everybody's struggling right now? And empathy and sympathy, where is that? It's missing, right? It's missing in the paradigm. So if we were to evoke that in our personal lives, okay, not just talking about politics, but in our personal lives, getting into the feelings and being empathic and compassionate. Empathic, not taking on all of this stuff. I mean, please, let's talk about that. We can't take on all of these burdens and all of this hard knocks we're in right now, but we can actually just get along with others and try really hard to have that compassion, because like I said, people who have true struggles, mental illness, addiction, suicidal, all that kind of stuff, are going to suffer right now, and it's going to be even harder for them. So we want to send out our love and our compassion. How can we be of service? How can we give back? What if we pray a little bit more? I mean, kind of pulling on that Jupiter sextile Neptune that I was talking about just a little while ago. What if we prayed and meditated and sent out Reiki or blessings or healing to other people? And I know that sounds very airy-fairy, and we want to vote. We want to do real life things too. It's not just like, I hope everything's okay, but we want to do real life things. We want to have our voice be heard. We want to talk to our neighbors and all of that. I've had a lot of clients say to me, how do I, as a Black person, deal with my neighbor who has a Confederate flag flying? Or how do I go to a family party with people who vote very differently from me and have a civilized conversation? I'm just gonna ignore those people and cut them out of my life. But I don't think that's the answer right now. I understand the need or the want to cut those people out of the life and hide people from your news feed and get rid of people who are, let's say, voting differently from you or praying differently from you or acting differently. But here's the thing. I think right now staying connected is so paramount if you can do it in a way that's not toxic. Okay, I'll just say that. If you can find love and compassion, we all eat food. We all, get dressed in the morning. We all have to work. We all do different things. And so finding that common ground and being able to talk and not like, I hate you because you vote this way, or I hate you because, you have a sign on your lawn that says something that I don't like, and talking to each other and having that compassion, I feel, is the only way to bridge. And I share oftentimes the way that I kind of approach things. Some of you know, some of you don't, but I'm a vegan, and I actually run Vermont's largest vegan group that the state has. Okay, I don't talk about it very much. Some of my name is on some of the things, but it's not, and it's something that I volunteer my time. It's 100% volunteer, and it's just a passion I have. And so people often come to me that are, it's funny because there's a joke in the vegan community that, like, how do you know someone's vegan? Because they'll tell you in the first 5 minutes that you meet them. Okay, so fine, I can laugh, whatever. But the thing is that I talk to and I interact with meat eaters all the time. In fact, I've had people get in my face like, well, I still eat meat and like, okay, I didn't ask you, just letting you know, I've had people get into my face and you know what? I stand and I talk with them. Okay, tell me about that. Like, is that important to you? And why is it so important? And different things. And people don't feel like I'm putting them down or threatening them or whatever. And the talking has created it so that, people actually listen to me when I have something to say versus like tuning me out because I'm one of those crazy vegans, I listen to them and then sometimes I'll share my thoughts with them, and that creates a bridge and a bond versus if I talk at somebody. And so the same goes for a lot of different things, difference in religion, difference in politics, different in race, different in office politics, whatever personal struggle that you're having right now, because we each and every one of us have these components. These components are global, but they're also affecting our charts personally. And some of us are more up in the chart than others, but we're all having these little moments and these little things. And so how do you have a good conversation with somebody and treat them fairly, and how you would want to be treated when they're maybe acting in a way that is not very good? So compassion, understanding. So I kind of mentioned Kuan Yin, which is on my bracelet here, the symbol for Kuan Yin. She is said, by the way, in history, she has been portrayed as a he and a she. Now, popular current times, she's a she. But she's said to be the compassionate person on council as to like whether or not you get into heaven or hell. That's basically the sort of thing around her. And she's been represented in different religions. She's considered to be Chinese, but she's been in different religions and various iterations of her. And she's the compassionate one. She's the one that says, well, we should let her in because she actually, was a pretty good person, even though she did these other naughty things, and she's said to be the compassionate voice on the council. So I would say if we could, evoke some of Kuan Yin's beauty and being able to evoke that structure. And it's hard right now because people are so divided, and I can't say it's going to get any better this week. So adding insult to injury, so tomorrow the sun is going to oppose Mars 7:26 p.m. Eastern time. That's on Tuesday the 13th. Aries and Libra, they're going to be going at it. The sun is in Libra, the Mars retrograde is in Aries, and they're just going to be opposing each other. And that's going to be, Mars is the god of war. That's going to be some fight, some aggression, some more aggravation. Tomorrow might be kind of a little contentious. And tomorrow is the start of Mercury retrograde. In Scorpio, it's rough. This is rough. Okay, so the retrograde is starting at 11 degrees Scorpio. So when I talk about these degrees, retrograde means go backwards. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Okay, that's 11 degrees it starts at, and then it will go backward. And so now we're going to be throwing Scorpio Mercury retrograde into the mix. And Scorpio is ruled by what planet? Pluto. So the one that is just, so all of this deep dark stuff that is, the transformation, the judgment day, the phoenix rising, the death and rebirth, that planet is activated through Mercury. And now we're going to be, Mercury's how we talk, communicate. By the way, Joe Biden has sun in, I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. He's got the sun in Scorpio, Mercury Scorpio, Venus Scorpio, Mars Scorpio. Ooh, he's got some Scorpio in there, doesn't he? So I don't, this is going to be also going through Joe Biden's chart in Scorpio. So we're going to have to see kind of what he comes up with, because he might have to kind of go back and review and re-review and re-review. They might, I know they said they were going to cancel the debate. They might actually kind of resurrect that thing back up again. Whether we should or not is another whole other broadcast, but the debate, that he might have to come back again, because that's going to be specifically working him out in his chart. But where's Scorpio in your chart? Do you know where Scorpio lies in your astrological chart? Sarah said, I'm so exhausted from all this energy. Exactly. Monica said, I'm definitely not leaving the house tomorrow. Yeah, I mean, this is really, really a lot. Lori said the beauty in the sky this weekend was amazing. Oh, anniversary of your grandmom's passing. Yeah. She's a Pisces, and she does not want any of these bumps in the road. Yeah, Rita said, you're ready to give up the structure in your life. Well, the structure is being broken down. But it's almost like being broken down brick by brick by brick by brick. And I know people have said they don't feel like it's being broken down, but I'm telling you, it really is. Catherine said, feeling the pull to lead, but as a single mom, school-age kids, and oh my God, and with COVID, exactly. Struggling. A lot of people are saying this is rough. So Mercury retrograde, what do you need to look out for? So Pluto / Scorpio is deep psychological processes. It's a water sign. It's a fixed sign. So fixed means stubborn. And it's deep. It's your deep secrets. It's your deep desires. It's deep, sexuality. It can be all that deep stuff. It also can be all that stuff that I was talking about with Pluto, like, with sexual stuff and drug addiction and alcoholism and just different things. Scorpio tends to take everything a little far. Okay, Mr. Corbin, I don't know if he's on here. Lynn said she's going to check where Scorpio is in her chart. Yeah, then you'll really specifically know where this is going to be hitting you directly. But we'll all be feeling it. We're all going to be feeling Mercury retrograde. So it's going to happen at 9:05 p.m. Eastern time tomorrow. Now, when I say stationary retrograde, people get so confused about this, but I want to kind of clarify. First of all, I want to clarify two little things here. First of all, if you really want to sound like you know what you're talking about in astrology, don't say Mercury is in retrograde. It's like saying Mercury is in backwards. Okay, so you just want to say Mercury retrograde, not in retrograde, because retrograde is a direction. Okay, it's not it's not in retrograde, it's just retrograde. Okay, and then the second thing is people get confused. Why is it stationary? And like, what are you talking about with that? Well, it's like a car. So think of a big car moving, okay, and it's going direct. All of a sudden it has to stop. It has to slow down, stop. That's stationary. And then go retrograde, which is backwards, okay? And then it stops, stationary, and goes forward again. So just to give you guys a perspective on what that means, it's 11 degrees now, okay, right this minute, and it won't even be 10 degrees, because remember it goes backwards, until Sunday the 18th. That's how long it remains stationary. Okay, when we talk about it being stationary, just to give you guys a perspective, these planets don't just stop and start. They slow down, they stop, and then they go, and it takes a little bit. So when we change direction, there's always this like sort of stalling out, and people start going, they start calling me going, nothing's happening in my life. I can't get anything to go right. And I'm trying to make this reservation. I'm trying to do these different things and nothing's working. Well, that's because it's stationary. It's not moving. Mercury is how we move information. Okay, so think about it. It's like your cell phone and your computer and your copy machine and all the stuff. And it's our cars. So Mercury in mythology, Greek mythology, Roman mythology, he was the guy in the chariot. Pegasus was his, horse, and he would fly through the sky. So he's the winged messenger. So, talk about reservations of flying and boats and all those types of things. Ooh, that's basically what the deal is. And that's why they say don't fly or don't travel during Mercury retrograde. Well, Mercury retrograde is a little difficult sometimes to get around, especially when it's stationary, because it's not going anywhere. And so that's why there's delays and obstacles and all kinds of things like that. So that's that. And then the other thing is we don't want to just, we don't want to it's about kind of going back to something that it was in the past. Okay. So we're like reevaluating, reorganizing, that's the good part about Mercury retrograde. It's great for reorganizing. You don't want to start a bunch of new things. In fact, hit the hold button on the new things and start fresh, start after this is all over. Plus Mars is retrograde too. Yeah. So Mars doesn't go direct until November 13th. So Mercury goes direct on November 3rd. Mars goes direct on November 13th. So if you're trying to really do these big bust a move before the end of the year, we might have to go back first, review, reevaluate, and then really in that last month we're busting a big move at the end of the year. But it's a lot. Almir really is funny. He said, I didn't sign up for this and I want to be excused. Yep, I know. We all feel that. So Lynn said, Scorpio mostly in your 5th house. Interesting. You can feel it. So Scorpio is definitely 5th house is for sure. It's love. Okay. It's creativity. It's children. Okay. But it's love. It's love relationships. So definitely it's one of those things that you might be hearing back from a past lover. Okay. So that's basically the other thing. Mercury retrograde often produces exes. So if you are single and fabulous, you might be hearing back from somebody that you talked to previously. So here's the general rule of thumb. If you are single and fabulous and you are looking for a partner, or I guess in an open relationship and you're looking for a partner, the thing about this is that you definitely don't want to start a new romance during Mercury retrograde unless you're fine with it being a fling. I mean, look, not every single thing results in marriage. You might want to just have a fling, and in that case, it's fine. But if you're really serious and you really want a serious LTR, long-term relationship, you want to hold off, okay, on new relationships. So don't start a dating app thing. Don't be doing all that stuff during Mercury retrograde. And what is favorable is if an ex comes back that's good. Remember, exes are exes for a reason. So we want to just only entertain it if it's a good ex. And, this is what I always say. What changed? What changed? If an ex came back, okay, fine, they came back. What changed? Because if it didn't change, then you kind of know if they're still doing, their shenanigans of why you broke up with them or they broke up with you, you might want to just kind of let that go. Lynn said, I'm gently excited about the old structure and beliefs being dismantled and transformed. Me too. I don't like the process of it because it's really painful to see and to watch. But I will tell you, this is definitely one of those things that it's needed. The old way is dying and the new way is going to be coming, but it still isn't here yet. We're still in that dying sort of process and aspect. And we'll have to see, but there's definitely a lot of transformations taking place. It's sad when you think about it. Like, another friend of mine and I were talking about all the old jazz clubs in Boston that are going to be closing down and probably forever. Some of these historic things, restaurants and bars and theaters and places that we know and love in the community and neighborhood are just, shutting down at a rapid pace. But new things will be coming. The thing is, we all eat and we all will continue to eat even after COVID is here. So new things are coming, but it's hard to watch some of these, old structures and places that we love, not be here anymore. And that's sad. Okay. So Juliet said, Scorpio in your 2nd house of money, honey. It's interesting, Juliet, that you brought that up because remember, it's a returning of something old or something previous, right? One time I had a Mercury retrograde hit my area money personally in my chart. Out of nowhere, I went to the mailbox and I got a check. And it was from somebody 2 or 3 years prior had borrowed money from me. And it was a significant sum of money, I'll just say. For me, it was significant. And paid me back. Never called me. Never, in fact, was at that point in life was dodging my calls, didn't want to. And I just thought, okay, I suppose I just gave my money to this person. Well, here, the person never said anything, didn't even put a note in, but gave me the check for the money. Never really talked to me again, which was sad, but definitely paid me back. And so I got money that was returned to me. So look, retrogrades are not always bad. Okay. That was fun. That was a good one. I feel bad that, the person feels, I don't know if they're embarrassed or what the deal is, but whatever their deal is, it doesn't matter. They made the debt good. And so that's the thing. You know, money can be returned from fun places. Now, also that can mean a return of, you know, maybe an expense or some kind of a breakdown that causes, you know, the money comes in and comes out. But you never know. I mean, retrogrades don't have to be bad. It's just something from the past. So it depends on what your past is like, I guess. Okay, so Lynn said you're okay with that and you're single and fabulous in the moment. So yeah, so Lynn, you might end up having an ex return, because fifth house, just to let you guys know, in astrology, fifth house, there's a separate house for love and separate house for marriage. Because back in the day of astrology is ancient, so they didn't have you didn't necessarily marry for love. You know, you married to have a contract, like who takes the trash out. Game of Thrones, think of Game of Thrones, you know, who's going to bear my children and have a son, you know, for me, or some kind of crazy thing, or I'll trade your daughter for my 3 cows. You know, that was the way that marriage was back when astrology kind of started. So you would marry the person and then you would have like the gardener on the side. So the fifth house, that's the 7th house, is marriage. The 5th house is just love. And it's the feeling of love, and it's flings, and it's not really commitment. I'll just say that, but it's definitely just like the feeling of love. What's best, I think, is when you have it combined, when you have, like, if you have a chart where basically people are have both 5th and 7th house connections, and then it can be like really a lot of fun and very sexy. So Mercury retrograde is coming, and Mercury retrograde is going to be here from tomorrow, October 13th, all the way until November 3rd. So mark your calendars. Don't get any new things. Don't do a bunch of new stuff during that time if you can hold off. Now remember, this is a guideline. It's not a hard rule, but you know, people always try to outsmart Mercury retrograde, and they'll be like, well, what if I do this and this and this? And then I'm like, it's just, why are you doing that? There's times in life where we have to go 90 miles an hour left lane, 90 miles an hour left lane, but even cars can't sustain that. You have to pull over sometimes, get gas, go to the potty, get a little snack, you know. Mercury retrograde is that time when you pull over to the side of the road and you have a little snack or a little, you know, kind of time where you can just pull over. So there's that. So I hope that helps everybody. Now, in the meantime, just to let you know, just the anatomy wise, the last little bit of Mercury retrograde is going to be going back. It's going to go all the way back out of Scorpio into Libra, and so that is a thing where we'll have a revisit of the Libra energy, but I will talk about on that broadcast in a few weeks when we're about to do that. Okay, Jennifer asked a really good question. Hey girl, I miss you. Okay, so she said, what about medical procedures during that time? Okay, so here's the general rule again. Guideline, I should say. General guideline is if it's elective and you can avoid it, I would avoid it. Now, specifically, I would definitely avoid it if it has to do with nerves, okay? Because Mercury is like nerves, like dental pain, nerves, you know, anything to do with the nerves. Breathing. Mercury is lungs, okay? So it's breathing, and it's the wrists and hands. So think carpal tunnel, or any kind of thing, hand surgery. So, and specifically Mercury in Scorpio additionally is all of the reproductive organs. Think lower reproductive organs. So ovaries, uterus, anus, prostate, penis, any of that stuff is vagina. That's all Scorpio's area. So you don't want to ever have surgery on those body parts, whatever the planet is in, you don't want to have it during that time. So, and I'm saying this if it's elective. If it's something you have to do because, you know, you really, really need it and it's really important, then I would, you know, you just have to do it and try to do it like on what is considered to be a good day. Now, One more thing I still have to talk about. Oh my gosh, I don't want this broadcast to be too long, but we have a new moon coming. Let's have more stuff happen this week. So on Friday, we have the new moon, which we'll write out our new moon manifestation list in Libra. So this is the Libra new moon. It's the end of Libra, so 23 degrees Libra. So if your birthday is on around this week, happy birthday. And also that will be definitely affecting you Libras, okay? Libra is all about relationships and all about balance, fairness, beauty. And we will want to write out our new moon manifestation list. So it's going to be happening on Friday in the afternoon, 3:31 p.m. Eastern time. So 12:31 if you're out on the West Coast. And so we want to write out our new moon manifestation list. You want to write all the things you want to manifest on the list. Leave the how they come to you off of the list. You just want to write down all the things you want. You want to fold it up, put it under your pillow, sleep with it like that. And in 2 weeks, you're going to burn or destroy that list on the full moon. Now, because it is 2020, we have two full moons this month. So we have a blue moon. Once in every blue moon, we have a blue moon coming on Halloween. So of course we have another full moon coming in 2020. And next month we have eclipses, okay? Just to let you know. It's it's going to be just constant. It's going to be like this. So people keep saying, when is it going to stop? When is it going to chill out? When is it going to do, whatever? Next year. Okay. So we still are going to keep going like this until the end of the year. And just to give you guys good mindset, forewarned is forearmed. We just want to, somebody wrote on my post, which I thought was awesome. I want to kind of borrow that. She wrote, we want to, spiritually buckle in our seatbelts. I thought that was really cool. Andrea said, Mercury retrograde, pull over and get a snack. Yes, exactly. The saying with retrograde, you want to do everything that begins with R-E. One of my clients said she's going to relax on her recliner with a glass of red wine. R-E, retrograde. So renew, reevaluate, reunite, reorganize, reconnect, all the re's. So we want to make sure we think of past and doing re. Even people have said refinancing is borderline, but it might be okay if you're refinancing, although it's still paperwork and stuff. So I personally wouldn't do that, but if you have to, again, that's good. So I hope that helps. And so yes, we're gonna have that beautiful new moon on Friday. So that's the one kind of, even that day, it's gonna the moon is gonna square all those planets in Capricorn, because again, it's in Libra. So if you look at the calendar, it's gonna square Jupiter, it's gonna oppose Mars, it's gonna square Pluto, it's going to square Saturn, all on Friday. So even this particular new moon is not really what you would call like a light and fluffy and happy new moon. It's a problematic new moon. So do your best. We're going to do our best. We're going to be peace, love, and light. We're going to do our best. How about that? So make sure you want to make sure you manifest some really good stuff on Friday, because hey, sometimes these planets, even though they're like a workout and they're kind of crazy, they can produce big results. So, stay tuned and stay posted. I do want to pull a collective card for one card for everybody, but also I want to pull cards for people who have any questions. So if anybody has a question that they would like to ask, let's see. Oh, Lynn said you are awesome and clear. Are there some indication of connections between 5th and 7th house? I'm not sure what you mean by connections. 7th house is marriage, 5th house is love. So, they're romantic houses. So they're good houses to look at when you're looking at your astrological chart. And Lynn, it sounds like your 5th house is really a time frame. Now it's hard. How do you date in COVID? How do you date in Mercury retrograde? How do you date in all of this craziness? Well, it's something that I would say, first of all, a lot of my clients are making online connections right now. It's just that I wouldn't want you to do an online date, to start online dating in Mercury retrograde. In fact, I always tell people usually just put it on pause if you can. If you can pause your account online just until after Mercury retrograde is over, that would be better. Or just be open if an ex comes back or somebody from your past. It doesn't even have to be an ex. It could be just like a friend that you went to high school with, and all of a sudden he's like, hey, you're looking good. I found you on Facebook or on Instagram or something. Yeah, I mean, go ahead and consider that. It's okay if it has a past connection, but if it's a brand new person, no. I would say just no. Just stop. Just stop. Step away from the dating. You have a doctor appointment and you thought you're nervous. Well, a generalized doctor appointment is, I wouldn't be nervous about that at all. A medical procedure, like I already went over that, but if it's something that's needed, of course, get it done. But if it's something that you can hold off on, I would wait a little bit. Oh, thank you for the heart, Andrea. So like and share with this post with your friends. Make sure you post the post, because that is what helps the good word to get spread. And I am going to tell you, okay, let's see. Oh, Lynn, yes, you said if the house has, what I meant by that, so she was asking about the 5th and 7th house, meaning that if you have connections with another person, so let's say, Lynn, you said that your 5th house is Scorpio, and you meet a Scorpio, even though you are, I think, a Leo or a Taurus, I can't remember, even though you are another sign, if you meet a Scorpio is your 5th house, and that's your house of love. So that might be a good love connection. See what I'm saying? So, because that person falls in your area of love. Okay. That's how. Okay. So, let's see. Does anybody have any questions? Please feel free to post below. Any questions. I'm going to pull one card. What do we all need to know while I'm waiting for any questions, if somebody has a question? If not, I'll just go. But I'm going to pull one card for everybody, a collective card. What do we all need, okay, astrologically and spiritually and all the things? What do we need to know from the angels, the spirit guides, and the guardians, the ancients? What are they trying to tell us? What do we need to know? What's the most important thing? Yep. It's kind of what I started the broadcast saying, okay? Follow your dreams. I don't know if you can see that. Look at her. She's laying there sleeping with all her little angel friends over top of her while she's sleeping. Follow your dreams. Okay, so basically that's what I was talking about in the beginning of the broadcast with Jupiter, sextile, Neptune. There's something fun that I should say. I don't remember the author of this book, but there is an astrological researcher who wanted to know what makes people win the lottery. Like, what's the mega? I'm not talking about the $50. I'm talking about the mega lottery, the $1 million+ dollars. What makes people win in their astrological chart? And her research found that if the naughty planets, the planets that are causing all these hard knock, life stuff, okay, hits one of your nice planets in your chart. So your chart is nice, it's well aspected, it's safe, it's beautiful, it's crisp, it's clear, it's wonderful. And so if a naughty planet hits a nice planet, that can be a trigger for big, 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 big lottery winnings. Follow your dreams. Even though a lot of this planetary stuff is very hard, globally it's very hard, in our communities it's very hard, with people we know and love it's very hard, there could still be stuff that's good that comes out of this, even though it seems a little bleak and a little, that's the sort of the message of this, is that bubbling beneath the surface, people have a little, maybe more time right now, or maybe they've been able to unplug and connect more to their thoughts and connect more to their spirit. and connect more to their soul more than they ever have, because they're not running around and going to soccer games and doing all this stuff like that us busy Americans tend to do. We're, always on the go, and we've all had to kind of calm some of that down. I'm not saying it's easy if you're a single mom with 3 kids that you're trying to homeschool right now. Maybe you don't have that time. But a lot of more people have more time now than they've had to dream. Albert Einstein said that imagination is even more important than knowledge. And so if you have time to imagine, you have time to dream. And then if you have time to dream, you can get a new goal, a new aspiration, a new mindset, a new thing that you would maybe like. Maybe it's not to go back to the old way and to run around constantly to all the different appointments and all the different soccer games and all the different things. Maybe your dream is to travel. Maybe your dream is to live life differently, in other words, going forward. And the key is this week is saying, remember to follow your dream. And to pursue those aspirations. Even though Mercury's turning retrograde, you can still start to do some of the homework and the behind the scenes stuff that you can work on. I always say, this is not the time to do the grand opening of a business, but it's time to set up the business and time to, print your business cards and do just the behind the scenes, the homework, okay, that you can do. And that's a really good thing. So let's see. Oh, nobody asked a question. Here we go. Okay. Gwen said, you are potentially re-engaging a relationship with another who's a soul connection. What comes to you, please? Okay, Gwen, I will pull a card for you, Gwen, about your soul connection. Gwen, you're in the middle of this, I think, aren't you? Are you a Capricorn, if I remember correctly? There's a lot going on. Maybe you have Scorpio. I think you have Scorpio, too. Okay, let's go. Gwen, what does Gwen need to know about this soul connection, this person, this? Okay, honor your true feelings. Honor your true feelings. I have to be honest with you. When I connect, it feels like there is a soul connection for sure with this other person, but I also feel that it's complicated. I have to be honest with you. I can't give you this. Roses, are completely red and violets are completely blue on this one, on this love connection, because it's complicated and there's a little bit of, I'm just going to say this, there's a little bit of trauma bonding going on between the two of you. I feel like, I don't know, maybe you guys went through something similar or there's some sort of a thing. So just let it be that you are, connected, and that might be a good person that's a friend or something, but I feel that, and the other thing is you got the move card, so I don't know if they're moving or you're moving or you guys are apart or you somehow have to find ways or to connect or something. So there's a complication with the two of you. So I hope that helps. Some of it's trauma bonding, I'm sorry to say, and that's not always a fun thing, because that can be reliving, stuff, and you don't want to be triggered. So I hope that helps. Yay, Riley! Oh, Riley, I want to find out, Riley. I'm going to share a dream with you, and I'm putting you on the spot here, girl, and I'm going to say this out loud. Because I was talking about following your dreams. That was the card we got tonight, Collective Dreams. Riley, I want to do a joint broadcast with you. I think that would be really fun to do maybe some joint readings or something. I don't know how to do it. You're a little, I think, better technology-wise than I am, but maybe we could Zoom and do a live. Riley is a very talented intuitive as well, and she's very good at what she does. She does psychic mediumship and some other things, and I think that would be so cool for the two of us to do one together. Oh, and Paine wants to know if she should get a doggy. Paine actually sent me a picture of the two dogs, and I have to say I like the one that is like a, I think it's called apricot color. I like that one. They're both very cute though. Oh my God, they're both very cute. Let me ask about you getting a doggy. Okay, Paine, I'm just going to ask really quick. What does Peony know about getting a doggy? Very quick card. Yeah, you know what the thing is, Peony? You're kind of like alone right now. I know you got your daughter, but you could use a companion. The only thing about it is you're such a traveler, so that when we all emerge like butterflies out of the COVID time frame and out of all of this stuff, it might be a little harder for you to travel. But I kind of like the idea of you getting a dog now, where I didn't before. I kind of do now, because you're home, you're studying. There's a lot of, you're behind the desk, you're studying, you're reading, you're doing like whatever thing, but I do feel like getting a buddy, I think, would be wonderful. Yes. Oh, Gwen said so complicated. Yes. Yeah, I know. I'm sorry to say that it's a complicated thing. And Pione said yes, she is definitely wanting to have a friend. Yes. Okay. Oh, Sharon, hi girl, how are you? You don't have a card, but you want me to think of a question in your head or something that you would like to know. Think of it while I'm pulling, and I'm going to pull the card for you, okay? All right, I'm going to pull a card for Sharon. Very quickly, what do you need to know? Sharon. Oh, girl. Girl. I don't know what's going on with you, girl. I kind of do, but I don't want to say it, Self-reliance. I want you to rely on yourself, okay? You're getting too caught up in relying on another. And this other situation is not good. So look, you saw me pull the card. Self-reliance. You got to make sure that you rely on you. Don't give away your power. I feel like you're giving away your power. I keep seeing motorcycles for some reason, but you're giving away your power. And I want you to be able to refocus. This might mean a breakup. This might mean a separation. This might mean getting away from a toxic person, a friend, a situation that you're challenged in. But you have to believe in yourself. Okay. I love, by the way, this stone, citrine, for personal growth, personal power, personal confidence. Citrine is a great stone for that, and that's your solar plexus chakra, and that's your personal power. You're forgetting you're powerful. You're a powerful girl, Sharon, so I want you to make sure you remember that. Okay. Oh my goodness, everybody's asking me now. Okay. Oh, Riley wants to know where this energy is coming from. The energy from the way that I do my readings, Riley, or is it the energy? We talked a lot about the astrology already earlier in the broadcast, and you're just joining now. But I have spirit guides that I work with as far as readings. Some people ask me if I'm channeling or doing whatever. I feel like I'm channeling my spirit guides, my guardian angels, and I call them all angels, even though that's technically not accurate, but I call my team, my spirit team, my guardian angels, and I feel like that's what where I channel from, and I hope that it is accurate and divine and all of that, but that's where I feel I have a very close relationship with my spirit guides. I talk to them every day, I pray every day, and I have a connection to, I feel that divine energy, and therefore I share. And I don't really go to a church or have a denomination. I just sort of have this universal, I pull from all different religions, and whatever kind of resonates with me. I sort of cherry pick, I guess, in that way. But I do feel it's very divine energy, and I hope that helps. Yeah, it is a beautiful connection. My spirit guides are really fun. I love them so much. Okay. All right. So let's see. Oh, Riley, you wanted to know the heaviness energy around you. Yeah, let me look. All right. Wow, well. It's really, I have to be honest with you. I keep getting this, I literally feel, it's a very kinesthetic feeling, and it's a very, very heavy feeling in my heart when I tap into it. It almost feels like in a way, almost like, I don't know that this is your energy though, Riley, but I feel like you're almost taking it on. Like there's a heavy heart energy around you, or even maybe somebody's heart that's not functioning properly, or some kind of a thing with the heart. Because like when I close my eyes, like my heart did this like weird thing. And it feels like it's tight and heavy all in my chest. It's a very kinesthetic feeling. Gosh, it feels like there's something not right. And I don't feel like it's you though. It might be somebody that's like around you, or that you're concerned about, or that you worry about, or you think about. But I will tell you, the card that came out around this was have positive expectations. So I feel like as if it's something that's going to get worked out or fixed or repaired or some kind of a thing. It just might be that you're worried. I do feel like a very worry, like almost when I have to be honest, like almost like I'm not a mom, okay, but I am a mom to a lot of animals, and I feel this way when I'm really worried or upset about one of my pets or one of my babies or one of my children, you know, like, or something. Like I feel like that. So yeah, so if you have this heaviness of somebody else's heart energy or whatever, I just feel like as if you want to cleanse or clear yourself from it and to release it. It's not yours. It does not feel like it's your, I feel like you're totally like fine physically. Like I don't sense anything wrong with your heart, but there is someone else's, like I almost feel like it skipped a beat or something. So I hope that helps. Oh, you're avoiding running your cat that grieving your cat that ran away. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, like that's how I feel. Like I feel like when I'm really, really worried or concerned about an animal or a pet of my own, and yes, I do feel like my animals are my children. You know, it's something that, by the way, we keep talking about the fifth house. Lynn kind of started that topic of your astrological chart. Fifth house is children or pets that you love like your children. And so fifth house often is children. Sixth house is like farm animals, or animals that are sort of, they call them working animals versus animals that are your pets. There's two different areas. That's not my feeling. I feel like they're all my babies, but that's how astrology sort of kind of files them, if you will. Oh, you're welcome. Oh, and your husband has an abnormal heartbeat. Yeah, it skipped. It literally skipped when I dipped into your energy. So I hope that yeah, and definitely I can feel that grieving with your pet, because I feel like I'm really worried about something. So all right, well, I hope everybody has a great night. I can't keep talking because I know it's going to be so long, and I have to hop onto Instagram now, and I'm going to do another mini version of what I just did. So if you guys are not subscribed to me yet on Instagram, Gretchen Hidell, just my name, the only Gretchen Hidell on there, go ahead and subscribe to me. And on my YouTube channel, I'm really, really trying to grow my YouTube, so Gretchen Hidell, and I post these, but I also I'm going to be starting to post other content, so I hope that helps. And if anybody wants to see Riley and I do a joint one, go ahead and post below. I didn't even ask her, but I bet you that would be so much fun. So anyway, please everybody, this is real heavy duty energy that we're facing. And so be the bridge, be the positive love and light, be the Kuan Yin, and have love and compassion for others, but also remember to have love and compassion for yourself. Namaste, everybody. The light within me sees the light within you. And please go ahead and contact me if you would like to have a session. Have a great week. Mwah. Bye, everybody.